So in this video, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to complete the Excel practice problem worksheets for participation credit in our class. So I recommend that you complete the worksheets while watching the video lectures. This will give you an opportunity to follow along with me as we work through the problems. Also, some of the information about the problems may have only been provided in the video itself. So let's go ahead and get started in the Chapter 2 practice problems worksheet. So the first problem is related to the frequency histogram. But in this problem, you're only going to be doing the calculations related to the grouped data frequency distribution related to the sample size and finding K, and then as well as the class width. So we know from the foreclosures data that there was 33 residential properties in the sample. So we'll go ahead and plug in 33 here. Now in the video, I showed how you just kind of iteratively find K by doing the 2 to the power of K is greater than or equal to N rule. So I plugged in different numbers until we got greater than 33. Here, I'm going to also demonstrate what happens when you enter the incorrect answer into the worksheet. So let's say you put 5. Now you can see that the cell is shaded in red. This means that that is not the correct answer. So you saw when we put in 33 here, the cell is shaded in green. So that is the correct answer. So we go ahead and plug in 6. And then 2 to the power of 6 is 64. You notice how when I use tab, it moves to the next box. That's because the Excel worksheet is locked. So the only boxes that you actually can enter numbers in are the coral colored boxes. So this allows you to kind of move through the worksheet and enter the numbers pretty quickly. Now, in this problem, we're going to find the class width. So the first thing you need to do is find the maximum number, which was 335,575. Then the minimum number in the foreclosure data was 87,260. Now K was 6, so we'll plug in 6 there. Now here's where I'm going to show you the first instance where I would recommend that you actually do formulas in Excel instead of just plugging in the numbers from the video. So we know that we need to take this number and subtract this number. So I could click here and I'm going to do equals that cell minus that cell. And then we'll get the answer of 248,315, and then we'll just plug in 6 there again. And then here is another instance where we could do a formula. We're going to do a division. So I'm going to say equals that cell divided by that cell. And we get the answer 41,385.83. And then the final step here is just to round up to the nicer class width. So we're going to round up to 42,000. And that's it for this first problem. So let's go ahead and do the joint frequency distribution. So here I'm going to go ahead and plug in all the numbers from the video. Okay, now that I have the numbers plugged in from the video, we're also going to do the calculations here instead of just typing in the numbers that you saw in the lecture. So here I'm going to go ahead and add up these 3 numbers, and I'm going to use the sum function. And I'm going to highlight these 3 numbers and click enter. And now I can actually drag this formula down to the bottom. Now this one is not correct because it says 0 because we haven't put anything in here yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same here. And we're going to add up these 2 numbers. And then I'm going to drag this across. And now the whole table is completed and we have all greens and we know we did it correctly. So the final problem is the joint relative frequency distribution. And here's another great example where doing the actual formulas will really help. So we know with a joint relative frequency distribution, the percentage of people that have a pet and own a home is 4/12. So I'm going to type in equals and then I'm going to click here. But since this is not really a full-blown Excel tutorial, instead of clicking this cell here for divide by 12, I'm just going to go ahead and type in 12 here. Now, there's a reason for that, and I don't want to, in this video, focus in on how to lock cells and relative references. I'll cover that during class. But here, I just want to keep it simple for this video. So it's 4 divided by 12. Now that I have that, I can actually complete this whole table by just dragging down. And so when I click here and I click in the formula bar, you'll see that now it is 5 divided by 12. So the formulas adjust when I drag it down. And then I can highlight these 3 and drag it across. And now we have completed the whole table. Now, in this problem, I want to talk about one thing real quick. So if we look at these two numbers, 0.33 and 0.08, if you just add up the numbers as you see, 0.33 and 0.08, that is 0.41. So there's rounding that you don't see when we're only showing up the two decimals. So just be very careful when you're entering these numbers that you do your math correctly and not just add up these numbers when we should be doing the division of 5 divided by 12. The other option would be to just plug in the numbers as you saw in the video, but I have these Excel worksheets so you could really get hands-on practice on using the formulas that we teach throughout the semester. All right, that's a wrap for this video. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions on how to complete your practice problem worksheets in Excel.